So good morning everybody and welcome to our Zoom yoga class today. Lovely to have you all here again. So we're starting in the semi-supine position and that could be with a cushion or a book underneath your head, or you can have your head resting onto the floor. It is a good idea if you can use a cushion that's a bit firmer. It just helps to lengthen out your neck. And then you can either have your knees bent with your feet on the floor, you can have your legs resting over a bolster or a pillow. So just making yourself comfortable, feeling both sides evenly balanced. And then we'll take a breath in through the nostrils. And as we do, we'll gently tighten the body, just say about 30% of your max tightening. And as you slowly breathe out through the mouth, slowly let your muscles relax, kind of like you're melting into the floor. And you can just feel each part letting go a little more until you completely relax the body. And then again, inhale with a 30% tightening. And breathing out, slowly releasing and relaxing every body part more and more, letting gravity completely take hold. And then inhale through the nostrils and sigh out through the mouth. Once more, inhale through the nostrils and sigh out through the mouth. Settling into your space. And bringing your awareness to the breath at the tip of the nostrils. Feeling the touch and the temperature of the breath. And then let's move into, as we maintain our awareness at the nostrils, doing a 1 to 10 breath. So you'll inhale and count an odd number, number 1. And then exhale the even number, 2. And you continue like that all the way to 10. And once you've finished the next exhale, we're going to take our hands to rest over the abdomen. So your fingers are pointing towards the middle on the soft part of your belly, just underneath the rib cage. And the heels of the hand are resting on the floating ribs at the sides, letting your hands and shoulders be nice and relaxed. And begin to really focus your awareness on the movement that's happening in the area under your hands, the low lobes of the lungs. And also try to expand the breath a little more into the low part of the lungs without forcing. So you're feeling the breath coming into the front, sides and back of this low lobular region of the lungs. And just reminding yourself that if you're ever feeling stressed or anxious, that generally what you'll do is you'll breathe short breaths more up into the high part of your chest. You can think about bringing it down slow into the low lobes. It helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which brings in your relaxation response. So really simple thing to do, we just need to remember in the moment. And whilst we continue breathing in and out of the low lobes, let's do another round of our 1 to 10 breath. And then after the next exhale, we'll move our left hand to the mid-lobe, so the heel of the hand on the side of the rib cage with the fingers resting under the breast or pecs. And then your right hand moving to the high lobes on the upper chest with the middle finger towards the middle collarbone. And moving to our full yoga breath. Always low, mid, high lobes is the flow of the breath on the inhale or exhale. So let's exhale through the nostrils. Inhaling through the nostrils, sending the breath into the low lobes as the belly expands. Mid lobes, feeling your rib cage expand. Lifting the breath into the high lobes as they rise slightly. A comfortable pause, and then exhaling first from the low lobes, feeling the belly sink and soften. Mid lobes, rib cage, also softening, and then high lobes, the upper chest, that gentle sink also. So please continue with this now, with your own rhythm, allowing the breath to flow smoothly. Just noticing if you've been able to maintain your awareness with the breath. If not, just bring it back now. Low, mid, high. And then after your exhale, just let your arms come up and over behind. Have a big stretch and a yawn. And then removing bolsters and blankets. Lengthening out your legs. Having your heels about shoulder distance apart. Bring the arms down by your sides, just a little away with the palms down. So we'll be continuing with our full yoga breath and going to practice the Kaya Kriya. So when you're either inhaling or exhaling from the low lobes, your feet and legs will be moving and then they pause. Mid lobes, your arms and hands move, and high lobes, it's the head and neck. So let's exhale. And then inhaling to the low lobes, rolling the feet and legs in. Mid lobes turning the palms and arms up, and then roll them out and away from the body as much as you can. High lobes head to the right. And then exhale, low lobes, feet and legs roll out. Mid lobes, hands and arms rolling back towards the body. Work right up into your shoulders. And then high lobes head to left. So that's one round. Inhale, low lobes, feet and legs rolling in. Mid lobes, hands and arms roll away. High lobes head to the right. Exhale, low lobes, feet and legs rolling out. Mid lobes, hands and arms roll back towards the body. High lobes head to the left. So please continue with this now, working right up into the hips and the shoulders, letting your head ease. Smooth flowing breaths. Once you've finished your next exhale, just roll back to the centre. Palms up, head to the centre, feet flopping out to the sides. Feeling sensations in the body. And then bending your knees, bringing your feet onto the floor into semi-supine position. Take your arms up into the air and then bend your elbows and hold onto the opposite arm with the opposite forearm with the opposite hand. And then let the weight of the arms rest into your shoulders. Inhale. On the exhale, knees and head move to the right, elbows and arms to the left. Inhale, coming back to the centre. And then exhale, head and knees to the left, arms to the right. So let's keep this going now. Each time you inhale, you flow back to the centre. And on the exhale, moving out to the side. Spiralling through the spine. Continue the smooth, slow movements. And then the next time that your knees return from the left, come back to the centre, relax your arms. And inhale. On the exhale, bring the right thigh over the body, holding onto the shin, stretch your left leg away. Inhale, compress the right thigh into the body nice and close. And as you exhale, swap. Inhale, compressing the left thigh in. And on your exhale, changing. So we'll continue this twice more for each side. Once you've done the left side for the second time, bring both knees over the body. Inhale. And on the exhale, lift the pelvic floor, chin to the chest, forehead to the knees, snuggle up into a little ball, letting the shoulder blades and shoulders relax away from the ears. And then inhale, placing the head down, making sure your neck is nice and long. Widen your knees. Slide the hands down the insides of the legs, the insides of the lower legs. Now today we're going to take our hands, if we can, and hold on to the little toe side of the foot. So at this stage, your arms are inside your legs and your hands are holding on to the outside edge of the foot, closer up to the ball of the little toe. And then we'll lift our feet up to the ceiling. So your knees are wider than your armpits, your feet are lifted up, your arms are heavy, and now it sort of depends where your arms end up. They might still be inside the arms, they could, the legs. It could be outside the legs, they could be in front of your legs. So just letting the thighs be in towards the rib cage, drawing your feet back behind and letting the arms then be heavy. We're in our happy baby pose. And just think all those years back when you were a little baby and you were here doing this happy baby type pose. Have a little rock from side to side. And come back to the middle, just settling into it again. Drawing the feet back. Feeling the stretch into the belly of the hamstring. And then bend the knees and bring them back over the body to the center. Give them a hug. Inhale. On the exhale, chin to the chest, forehead to the knees, engaging the pelvic floor, coming up into a little huddle. And then inhale, releasing the head down. Taking the feet down one by one, back into semi-supine. And feet and ankles next to each other. Bring your hands underneath your forehead, underneath your head, not your forehead. Elbows wide. Inhale. On the exhale, widen the knees, let the soles of the feet come towards each other. So the knees are heavy. And now your head is heavy. As you inhale, raise the elbows to the ceiling. And then exhale, lift the head, pointing the elbows in the direction of the feet. Be aware of your head relaxing into your hands. And then inhale, release the head down, widen the elbows. And as you exhale, draw the knees back towards each other. And then step your feet just a little wider apart, hip distance apart with the feet. Inhale the elbows to the ceiling. And then exhale, lifting the head and taking your elbows, point them towards your knees. Letting the head rest into the hands. And breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, release the head down. Widen the elbows. Lengthen out your legs. Knees and ankles together, gently extending through the heels. Inhale the elbows to the ceiling. And then exhale, lifting the head, elbows pointing down towards the feet. And again, breathing into the space between the shoulder blades. inhale, release the head down, widen the elbows, and then release your hands down by your sides. Okay. So now we're going to lengthen our spine. Sometimes this can feel a bit strange, and just sort of do what you think, but pretty much what we're going to be doing is trying to walk our hips firstly away from our shoulders, and then we'll be walking our shoulder blades away from our hips, so we're lengthening through the spine, and then we'll be moving our head and trying to kind of lengthen through the neck. So just feel like your head and your shoulders are pressing into the floor, and they're going to stay just as they are. And then we're going to raise up our right leg and hip. So you sort of roll onto your left side a little bit, and then step your heel further away. So we're going further away beyond where the left foot is. And then you'll inhale and raise your left leg and hip and step them further away, but still your shoulders and head are in the same spot. So we're going to continue with this, just lifting and then lengthening. So you're just trying to move your hips and legs further away from your shoulders. So once more for each side. And then the next time you put your left foot down, place it next to the right, and then gently dig your heels in. So now we're going to do the shoulders. So we lift the shoulder and the shoulder blade up towards the ceiling, and then walk them further away from the hips. And then the left up and further away. And we'll just keep on doing this. So it's sort of like you roll a little bit onto one side while you lift the opposite and walk it away. And then once your left has walked away, keep the spine nice and long, but slide the shoulder blades towards the waist. And now with your head, feel the point where your head is resting onto the floor. So when you come back to this, it'll be just a bit further beyond where it is at the moment. So we're going to let our head turn to the right. And as we roll back towards the middle, we'll just try and lengthen the neck and move that head, the point of the head further away. And then to the left, roll back to the middle, further away still, to the right. So it's kind of like your head's making a rainbow shape on the floor. And then to the left, lengthen it away. Once more for each side. Once you come back to the middle, again, just feel like you're a piece of ice that's melting, everything softens. And then just notice, can you melt a little more? And enjoying experiencing the length in your spine. And then let's bend our knees, come into semi-supine position. So the feet are hip distance apart, and the ankles would be underneath your knees. We're going to take the heels of the hands onto the frontal hip bones with the fingers towards the pubic bone. Do a few pelvic tilts. Inhale. And as you exhale, flatten your back, draw the navel towards the spine and lift the pelvic floor. And then inhale, let the tailbone tilt away, create a little extra space under the lower back. And then exhale, flattening the back, drawing the stomach muscles towards the spine, engaging the pelvic floor. Inhale, tailbone tilting away slightly. Just a little bit more of an arch than you would normally have, not too much. And then exhale, flatten the back, draw the navel in and up. Pelvic floor lifts. Staying here now. So as we inhale, we'll hold this. On the exhale, keeping your waist onto the floor and the pelvic floor lifted, see if you can lift your tailbone up a little bit. So you're kind of scooping through the hips, trying to bring your pubic bone towards your navel. As the tailbone lengthens away, it really won't move very much. Then you probably inhale by now. And on the exhale, we'll do that again. So we keep the abdomen in the stomach muscles engaged, the pelvic floor lift as we try and lengthen through that lower back. And then on inhale, release, and let the tailbone ease away slightly. Bring your arms down by your sides. And actually now we need to remove head supports if you have them. Lengthen the neck, arms by the side, like really close to the body with the palms down. Shoulder blades sliding away from the shoulders, from the ears, I mean. Inhale, tailbone tilting away, that bit of extra space under the lower back. And as we exhale, we flatten, lift the pelvic floor, engage the core, and then start to peel the spine off of the mat. So start from the tailbone, work through the spine until we come up onto the bridge, so the hips are lifted and we're onto the shoulders or shoulder blades, chin to the throat. On the inhale, let your arms come up and over behind and let your spine come down one vertebrae at a time. Little tilt at the end with the tailbone. And then as you exhale, flatten, engage the pelvic floor and start to peel the spine off of the mat as the arms come back down by the side, well, where the sides would have been, back to the floor. Inhale, spine flowing down from the top as the arms come up and over. And then exhaling, flattening the back, peeling the spine off as your arms come down to the sides, and we're going to stay here in a bridge. So the neck is lengthened, your shoulder blades are broad and away from your ears. A little bit of tightening through the buttocks, feeling that your knees are strong and stable. Your feet are connected to the floor. The pelvic floor is lifted, and we'll hold that lift as we stay here and breathe. Inhale up onto the toes, arms come up and over behind. On the exhale, top third of the spine comes down. And then as you inhale, hold that. Next exhale, middle third of the spine comes down. Inhale and hold. And on the last exhale, the whole spine comes down. It feels nice and long. And when you're ready, let the legs slide away. Bring your arms down by your side, palms up, feet relaxing, and breathe. Feel the sensations. Spine is long. And then bending the knees, taking your arms out the side a bit wider. Let your legs lazily rock from side to side, head moving in the opposite direction to the knees. And then roll onto one side and use your hands to come up to a seated position. So once you come up to seated, just let your hands come back behind, leaning back, and let's circle the ankles. So try and make the biggest circles that you can. Go back the other way. And then come to the center. And now sit up, so press into your hands and sit onto your sit bones. And you might need to have a little wriggle so you can really feel that you're sitting nice and tall onto your sit bones. And then bring your hands forward and let your legs come a little wider. So hands onto the knees, and then we'll just start to slide down one leg and then the other. And so we just want to cover as much of the skin as we can with our hands as they slide on the insides and the outside and the top. And then come up tall. So bring our legs back out in front. Let your right knee bend and bring the foot to the inner leg somewhere, to the inner thigh or maybe to the knee or shin. I like to have another little wriggle. And then make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. So you don't want to be kind of rounding out through the spine and scooping in through your belly. You want to be up tall with your chest lifted and lengthening up through the crown of the head. So I just want to show you this. We're going to have our arms up, and what we want to do to start with is hinge from the hips. So if we're hinging from our hips, our spine staying up nice and tall, we don't want to come forward and then like arch round through the spine like that. We're going to be lifting up and moving forward and back for a bit, and then we'll let our hands come down, and then we'll be letting our chin come down and rounding out through the spine. Okay, so let's give that a go. And if you need to, you can have like a little cushion or the corner of your cushion under your left knee, just to let it bend slightly if you feel like that would be good. But anyway, let's bring our toes back towards our knees. Sit up nice and tall. Point your chest towards your left thigh, and then inhale your arms up in line with the ears. And then exhale, relax your shoulder blades down. Inhale, feel you lengthening from the sit bones up through the spine, through the crown of the head. And now this is where we start to hinge. So exhale, hinge from the hips, keep the spine long as we come forward. And then inhale, bring yourself back up tall. Exhale, hinging from the hips, even go a little further forward. And then inhale back up. Exhale, hinge, toes back towards the knee. And then bring your hands down onto your leg. And then let your spine round out and your chin drop towards your chest. And as you do that, you feel the stretch engage in the back of your leg and maybe along your spine. Toes back towards the knee and then just letting everything else relax as much as you can. And as you exhale, maybe you can slide your hands further down your leg. Or maybe you can just let your body relax even more. And then let's inhale and bring ourselves up tall. And then we're going to straighten out the, I think I did the left leg. Straighten out the right leg and bend your left knee. And then step your left foot over to the outside of your right leg. Now you're going to have your left hand resting onto just the outside of the shin on your left leg. Sit up nice and tall. Feel like you're kind of lifting up your belly and through your chest and up through the crown of the head, and take that right arm out to the side. And now bring your chest in, your breastbone in towards your thigh, and wrap your elbow, your right elbow around your knee. And then as you inhale, sit yourself up tall so that the foot lifts and you feel the stretch come into the left side of the buttocks and hip. So what we're really wanting, and we can use our left hand for this to give it a little push in, is for the left knee to move towards the right shoulder. So they're really snuggling in, which helps to stretch into the buttocks. Keep yourself up nice and tall, particularly lengthen through the lower back and don't round out through that area. Nice long breaths. And then release the foot down. Sit yourself up tall. We're going to take our right hand now just to gently wrap around that knee. Bring your left arm up in front, pointing forward, and then turn the palm down. Relax the shoulders. And as you inhale, lengthen up through the spine again. On the exhale, we're going to start to take the arm and the eyes and the head and shoulders around to the left. And keep that arm moving all the way around as far as you can. Place it down behind you so you come into a twist. So you're going to have your thumb towards your body and your fingers away. And you want to lengthen up through the spine. So don't be sort of laying back like this. You want to be up nice and tall, really up through the lower back and lifting up through the chest. And then what you can do is draw your stomach muscles towards your spine and twist further around towards the left. Let your shoulders relax down, lengthening up through the crown of the head, closing your eyes and having a few lovely breaths. And then release, come back to the centre. Let the soles of the feet come towards each other. Just have a little flutter with the knees. And then bring them back. and lengthen out your legs. So this time we're going to have our right leg lengthened and the left foot coming in towards the thigh. Have a little wriggle so you're really sitting onto the sit bones. Toes towards the knee, lengthening up through the spine, turning your chest towards your right leg. And then inhale the arms up. Hinge from your hips, keep your spine long as you exhale. Inhale, come up to seated with a lengthened spine, and then exhale, hinge forward, keep the spine lengthened. Inhale, coming up, relax those shoulders. Exhale, hinging forward, hands come down, and then round out through the spine, chin to the chest. And toes back towards the knee, and then relax as much as you can. Inhale, bring yourself up tall. And now we're going to stretch out our left leg and bend our right knee. Stepping the right foot outside of the left leg. So your right hand's on the outside of the shin and your left arm comes out to the side. And then wrap your left elbow around your knee, bringing the breastbone towards the thigh, and then inhale, sit yourself up tall. So your foot will most likely lift off of the floor, and then remember we want to have the right knee moving in towards the left shoulder, so you can give it a little press, you can give it a bit more of a hug in, so you get a stretch into the right side of the buttocks. And then release, so the foot comes down. We're going to sit ourselves up and take your left hand to hold on to your knee where it's comfortable. Bring your right arm straight out in front of your shoulder and turn the palm down. So lengthening up, lifting up through the belly, and then as you exhale, come around to the right with the arm, shoulder, head, all the way around behind as much as you can. Thumb towards the body, fingers away. Press into the fingers, lift up through the spine, and then maybe you want to rotate a little bit more around to the left, holding the twist, relaxing the shoulders, slow, smooth breaths. And then inhale, rotating back to the centre. Letting the soles of the feet come towards each other with the knees wide. Have a little wriggle from side to side to even yourself up. And then sitting up nice and tall. Bringing, like we did before, spine long, hinge from your hips. You can slide your hands down onto your feet a little further. And then round out through the spine, so just letting the chin drop towards the chest. Knees heavy, everything hanging and relaxing. And then inhale, bring yourself up tall. Knees come together and we'll come over onto our hands and knees. So I'm just going to do a hip flexor stretch. So if you want something underneath, you can. Bring your right foot forward. So what you want is for your right knee to be above your right ankle and for there to be a bit of an angle on this left leg. And then inhale up onto your fingertips and lengthen your spine. And then exhale, let your hips lunge forward. So you should feel a stretch in the front of your left upper thigh or hip area. And if you want to, you could tuck your toes under to help increase that. See if you can just let the hips lunge forward a little more without forcing. And then press into the hands and take the hips back. And we're just going to bring that knee back. So just go back into a child's pose for a moment, hips over the heels, hands, either arms stretched out in front or underneath your forehead. And then come up onto all fours again. This time stepping your left foot forward. So the knee is above the ankle, bit of an angle on this right leg. Inhale up onto the fingers. And then exhale, lunge the hips forward. And then just see, can you just let your hips relax a little bit more. Try and keep your spine lengthened and don't let your chin drop down or your shoulders round out. Keep active through the spine. And then just slowly take your hips back, bring your knee back into child's pose for just a moment. And then coming up. So we'll come up to standing now. You can tuck your toes under and then lift your knees up, come into a little balance to stand straight up, or you can hinge yourself up or stand up however you like. All right, so just letting the feet be a comfortable distance apart, a little bit of body wrapping. And then shake your arms. Okay. I am going to just do the right side because I'm not quite sure on the screen whether it's sort of mirror fashion like it is in the class. So I'm just going to do my own right side, you do your own right side. So feet under the hips. What you want is enough space so that you can step out to either side without stepping on anything. So just sort of make sure that you've got enough space to do that now. All right. So we're going to start by inhaling, crossing the wrists in front of the body and lifting your right leg. The arms come up and the foot just comfortably steps out to the right side. As you exhale, you bend your knees and scoop your arms down towards the floor. And then inhale, lift yourself up, and it's like you're holding a ball of energy. And then you turn your fingers up and bend your knees and let that energy rest in front of your heart. So this we would call the horse stance. So you're sitting down with that energy at the front of the chest. And now you'll inhale, straighten your arms, straighten your legs, open up, look up to the ceiling. It's like you press your thighs and your chest forward, or just opening up. And then exhaling, bringing the hands back to hold on to that ball of energy as you bend your knees and we come back to the horse pose. Turn your right foot out and then scoop your arms out to the right and take your body weight out to the right. We're going to make a really big circle. That's the inhale. Let your weight come back towards the left foot and then exhale as the circle comes down and around in front. You take it out to the side and then you're going to step back to the middle. On the exhale, the arms come down to the sides. And now crossing the other arm in front as we inhale. We're stepping out to the left this side, big circle with the arms. And then exhale, bend the knees all the way down to the floor. And inhale, lift the energy up. Fingers to the ceiling and then sitting down into the horse pose. Inhale, straighten your arms and your legs and open up to the ceiling and sky. And then exhale, come back. Horse pose at the center. Turning the left toes out. Weight to the left. Big circle with the arms as we inhale. Weight comes to the right. Exhale it down in front of the body. Out to the side. And as you inhale, it's like you're drawing that energy back and stepping back to the middle. And then exhale the arms down. So we're going to do this a couple more times. Arms in front, they cross, inhale, stepping out to the right. Bending the knees, scooping the arms down, exhale. Inhale, lift the energy up. And then exhale, sitting down into it. Inhale, straightening legs and open the arms up. Exhale back to the center, bending the knees. Turning the toes out to the right, weight out as we inhale, circling. Over to the left, the big circle continues and exhale it in front. Out to the right side and then stepping back to the center. Exhale, arms down. Cross the other arm in front, inhale to the left, step it out. Exhale, big circle down. Inhale, lifting up. And then exhale, sitting into your horse pose. Turning the toes to the left, circling out to the left, inhale. Weight change, exhale, out to the side, and then drawing it back in to the heart. Exhale the arms down. So we're going to do that again with affirmations. Inhale, out to the right, stepping. I accept all that life offers me. I am grateful for everything. I'm enthusiastic about the future. To the left. I accept all that life offers me. I am grateful for everything. I'm enthusiastic about the future. And then once you step in, bring your hands to your heart center, closing your eyes and taking some long, slow breaths. then just relaxing your arms down. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is a warrior sequence. So you want to step your feet reasonably wide and then turn your left toes towards the end of the mat and turn your right toes either so that they're at 90 degrees to the left or even in a little bit more. And then bring your hips, your frontal hips back to face, if you were standing long ways like I am on the mat, to the long edge of the mat. And then inhale the arms up parallel with the floor. And then exhale, bend your left knee. Now, if you have a look down, you should only see your left big toe. Your knee would then be above your ankle and in the right sort of alignment. You're lifting up through the pelvic floor and up through the crown of the head. Reverse warrior, so right hand onto the thigh, left palm turns up. Keep the legs as they are and then inhale, slide your hand down your leg. Lift the left one to the ceiling. It can either be towards the ceiling, you can point it back behind, or you can just let your hand circle around your head. And then inhale and bring your left elbow onto your left knee. And now roll your left shoulder, put your right hand onto your hip, roll your right shoulder up towards the ceiling. So if you were against a wall, both of your shoulders would be against the wall. And then if you like, you can stay here, or you might like to slide your hand up your rib cage, over your armpit, over your ear, and stretch it out towards the left. And then you can bend a little more deeply into your left knee if you like. And then bring your right arm to the ceiling with the palm facing forward. Straighten your left leg, and your left palm is facing forward. So if you feel like you're leaning forward, then you can slide your hand a little further up your leg, because what you would really want is for your hips and your shoulders and the back of your head, if they were able to be against a wall, they would be. And then bend the left knee, press into the foot and bring yourself up to standing. Turn your left toes forward, turn your right toes to the other end of the mat. Bring your hips back to the long edge of the mat. And then we'll inhale the arms up, parallel with the floor. Exhale, bend your right knee. Looking past the right fingers, maybe just checking you can only see your big toe. Staying strong through the lower body, left hand onto the thigh, right palm turns up. Inhale, reverse warrior, slide the leg down, lift up the right, slide the hand down the leg, lift up your arm or arch further back or circle the arm around the head. And then inhale, bring your elbow onto your right elbow onto right knee. Then roll the left shoulder back. So both shoulders would be against a wall. You can leave your hand onto your hip here, or you might like to slide it up the rib cage, armpit, over here, stretching out to the right side, and then maybe a little bit more of a deeper bend into the right knee. Take your left arm to the ceiling, straighten your right leg, palms both facing forward, and then we would roll the shoulders back, hips and shoulders against the wall, triangle pose, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Bend the right knee, press into the foot, bring yourself up to standing, turn both feet to the front, and then heel toe them in. Give everything a little shake. And then we'll take our bolsters, if we have them, into the middle of the mat, ready for an inversion. And of course, if not, you're going to put your legs up the wall or onto a lounge. Just standing, if you've got the bolster in front of the bolster, and if you're going to the wall or lounge, just stand nearby so you're ready. And keeping your spine long and relaxed. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the knees, chin to the chest, unstack your spine one vertebrae at a time as you just come down into a ragdoll pose, forward fold. So you want your knees bent enough so that your belly can touch your thighs, so you're not stressing out through the lower back. Because if your legs are straight and you're trying to fold forward there, it's not the best. So just knees bent enough, and then you can hinge and relax. Hands onto the bolster if that's what you're doing, and take a seat. And then sit in front of the bolster, elbows onto the bolster, chin towards the chest and stepping the feet back. Lift your hips and roll yourself back. So adjust the bolster so it feels comfortable. Now today we're going to do just something a little bit different. We're going to bring both knees up over the body, and then you're going to straighten your left leg up into the air and have your right foot onto your left leg somewhere. So it could be the inner thigh, it could be near the knee, it could be to the inner shin. So wherever it sort of feels right for you, and then you just let your legs come back and decrease this angle here. What the hell do I get my hands to do that right? Between your leg and your body. And then you let your arms come out to the side and relax. So a few breaths here. And then straighten your right leg. Make the angle between the body and the leg bigger. Take your the other leg up into the air, and then swap sides. So I think your right leg should be in the air and your left foot should be on your right leg somewhere. And once you've got that sorted, just let them relax back towards the body a bit more and stay here for a few breaths. And then take the foot back to the ceiling, both legs up in the air now. Placing your hands onto the shins, the thighs, and then decreasing the ankle and sliding the hands up onto the shins. So you're in the pose of tranquility. Lengthen the neck, letting the legs relax into the hands and settle into your breath. And then bending the knees, letting them come back over the body. Stepping the feet down to the floor one by one. Just rest in a supported bridge pose, letting the heels and the hips and the tailbone drop. Really feel the opening in the breath. Holding on to the outside of the bolster. Bring one knee over your body. Use some momentum to sit yourself up. And give your knees a good hug, letting the forehead drop towards the knees. And sitting up. So now we're just going to come to a comfortable seated position for some alternate nostril breathing. So you want to have your hips lifted. You could sit into a chair if you like. You can sit onto a cushion with your legs crossed. I'm going to kneel over the bolster, but you don't have to do that. You can just find a spot that feels good and comfortable for you to sit for a little while. So we'll bring our left hand into chin mudra with thumb and index finger touching, just letting the hand relax down. Making sure your spine's lengthened and your head stays to the centre. We'll take the index and middle finger to the eyebrow centre. That's with the right hand. Inhale through both nostrils. And exhale both nostrils. Close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale, left nostril to eyebrow centre. Close left nostril with the ring finger, open the right, exhale right nostril. Inhale, right nostril to eyebrow centre. Close right, open left, exhale left nostril. Please continue. Then the next time you breathe out through the left nostril, bring your right hand down also to chin mudra. Eyes closed. Slow, relaxed breaths. So if you like, you can stay right here, or you could slowly make your way back into Shavasana or relaxation pose to finish the class. Feeling your spine is lengthened, both sides evenly balanced. Body is comfortable in the position you've chosen. And bring your awareness to the breath at the tip of the nostrils. And as you bring your awareness to the breath, the touch and the temperature of the breath at the tip of the nostrils, we'll practice another round of our 1 to 10 breath. Inhaling on odd numbers, exhaling on evens. If you made it all the way to 10, begin again. You might like to bring your awareness of breath to movements in the body or the sound of the breath. Just whatever draws your awareness. Another round of 1 to 10 breathing. And we'll do a little body scan just within our own time. So I'd like you to start at the crown of the head. You'll just be flowing your awareness as if a smooth, slow, relaxed energies flowing over the body, but also within the body. And just let this awareness soak down from the crown of the head through the body as you feel every part softening and relaxing, coming into balance, the peaceful, calm energy. And you could either stay just as you are for a little longer, and you might like to start to become aware of the space that you're in, and imagine if you were looking in at the space, you would see things around you and yourself sitting or laying in this position. And then allowing your breath to deepen. Feeling the clothes against your skin. Temperature on your air, of the air on your skin. Feel the breath in the nostrils as you deepen and lengthen the breath. And then slowly let your head ease from side to side. And running your tongue over your teeth. Feeling the fingers and toes have a little wriggle. And just moving however you feel like you want to move. If you might roll your shoulders or bend your elbows and knees. And then once you're ready, have a big stretch in a yawn if you feel like moving. If not, you can stay exactly where you are. And once you're done, if you're lying on the ground, roll to the side. If you're seated, just stay. Three things you're grateful for. 3 different things to last time. And then if you're choosing to, come to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart center. Finish with a loving kindness prayer. So let's inhale. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease in our lives. And may we be happy. Namaste.